Welcome to Copper Island, where I have been busy between episodes, shuffling all my items into this wonderful new storage system, which is fairly organized. I mean, there are still some, the regular bits where I haven't fully decided where to put them. However, the main issue with this system is that it's floating in the middle of the water. That means for bulk storage, there isn't really a way of transporting it automatically to here. And I'm not gonna transport several chests of cobblestone here and repeat the process every time I go mining, which means we need another storage system, in fact, for our bulk storage. And for that, we need to enter our redstone basement. I talked about in the past that I want to have an auto sorter down here, and originally it was going to be on this side, pretty much where the minecart line is now, but in difference to how I imagined things would go, the underneath of the minecart track is pretty much full with redstone, meaning if we had chests here, we wouldn't be really able to access them. And as I haven't been really space efficient at all, there's a kelp farm, there's a smelter connected to it. The only larger area we still have is this wall. That means, of course, we have to relocate the portal, but that is no issue at all. And otherwise we have quite a nice wall. But before we remove the portal, I have to go back to the ship. As for an auto sorter, we will need some quartz, so better make sure I have that. Otherwise, I will have to do some mining in the nether. Alright, that's more than enough. What we don't have enough of, however, is, well, iron. So, let's go to a quick trip down the mines and let's hope this pickaxe is not going to break, as we have not got any mending last episode, despite, well, even if you have not seen this episode, you know what's happened. If you see this fishing rod, you know what's happened. So down the mine we go. Whee! Now this is odd. Do you really want to tell me that all that grass spawned naturally underneath? Or is it more likely that an enderman placed a grass block here and then it just, spread? Oh, I don't know. This game is confusing, I'm telling you. But there's more iron. That's what I came here for. Now we should definitely have enough resources for this project. So let's start with it. But the first step will be, well, mining obsidian. Please don't teleport. Just mining obsidian. What fun. A zombie just trampled my door. I've come up with a plan. Obviously, I'm gonna use the item sorter by Impulse. I will link his video in the video description. But there is a twist. As you can see behind me, for the interface or the, access kind of area, I've chosen barrels. And I've chosen 2 rows of them. Because I realized, even if we use both sections, we in total have just 10 segments, which is a little bit too few. So I just doubled it. But that of course makes the redstone or the hopper chest arrangement a bit more confusing. The good thing, because we have 2 different layers, is that we have 2 different categories. One with 3 double chests and one with 5 double chests each, which makes sense as not every item is quite as common. And I had to scoot it over like that, because we need, of course, for the actual sorting to be happen, some redstone left and right. And as you can see, I totally forgot about all these hoppers you need for the funneling of the items from one chest to the others. So about the iron where I said a minute ago that it's enough, well, no, definitely not. But we'll just start and see how far we can get. 5 seconds later. I have now decided that it's probably a lot quicker to just look for the nearest mountains than just to continue digging, as that's painfully slow. 5 hours later. That was quite the journey, but surely that'll last us for at least a little while, right? 5 eternities later. Alright, I filled now the whole thing in, and for what I'm used to in terms of redstone builds, that is quite a monstrosity. the minecart... I mean, obviously the minecart will dock to one of those sides and then the items will go all the way around, loop back here. So what we need to think about is which direction we want to have that stuff. Obviously, due to the way I set the system up, the barrels will fill either starting here and then continue on the bottom row in the other direction, or starting down here and going this way up. So that means either this or that is the leftover chest. And we will start with this one, which is on that side. And then of course we need a minecart unloading station. The question is, can we put that unloading station directly over here? Let's try it. Let's try it. For the final barrel, we then don't need an item sorter, of course. Oh dear. Yeah, there goes the redstone. We don't need that for the final row, you know? And for the system I thought about kind of this arrangement with all the kinds of stone, dirt and gravel. Obviously we're missing Silk Touch Deep Slate. You know, not the cobbled variant, but I think I will generally try to avoid that, and anything that I still get will end up in the final chest. And this probably won't work, as I have the feeling the redstone might be interfering with the hoppers, but we're gonna try it out anyway. And see what happens. Okay, it doesn't work at all. Yeah, that doesn't work at all. That's... okay, I messed up at the first stage, apparently. Which, you know, isn't too ideal. Alright, try number 2. I have now added 2 additional hoppers, so I can pull out the minecart hopper station from the system itself, so things doesn't interfere with each other. And I've also decided to actually don't start on this side, but rather on the other one, as it doesn't make much sense to have the rest chest where everything unsorted will go, to have in the lower category where we have more storage space per slot. Alright, let's try it again. Okay, this now works. Okay, it's now starting to put the things in the barrel. That is good. And then here should be some stone. Awesome. Okay, andesite goes into this slot. Diorite. Awesome. I'm kind of surprised that this works. So the only thing is that we have to connect that up with our station where the chest minecart is diverted. So basically we have to dig out that tunnel and make that connection. There's a slime in a minecart. Oh boy, I think I did it. I have now here the unloading station, and the track goes all the way back, also through this room where the kelp blocks are smelted. And by the way, I also used this opportunity to clean this room a bit up. And as you can see, we are directly below water, which was quite fun to work with, as you surely can imagine. But that track now goes all the way back. And it is time that we now properly test it if also we have enough power rails. And for that I have an assortment of all kinds of stone, including one stack that is not part of the sorting system, which should end up in the final chest. So, let's see if it works. If it's not coming back immediately... oh no. Well, that is very good. And then let's see, what was the first stack? Andesite, which is funneling in. Oh, and here go our wooden planks. So that means the first half of our storage system is finally done. Well, almost. I still have to fill out the signs. Perfect. Oh, it's raining again. What a surprise. But when I was talking about working directly underneath the water, that is what I meant. The dangers of underground mining, as you can see. So let's just fill that back up. And also on this end, besides the ship, we have some damage to repair. And if everything went well, the chest minecart should now be on the lower station. Oh, that just never gets old. And there it is. Awesome. That means we can finally cut off all that nonsense. Wait, there's a glow squid. Give me a second. That means we can finally clean up all those random chests with junk that we have scattered around. And we can just sand it off, and ideally it should eventually return. Here it comes. And it's back now. Oh, I love it when multiple systems work perfectly hand in hand. And also eventually an empty minecart should return. Oh, it's already there. Perfect. And for those of you who have been watching this series for quite some time and wondering about this farm, which I tried to fix on a stream and, well, still didn't fully work out, I finally decided that maybe my 3 smokers are simply too much, and the one on the left, I blocked it, so I have just currently 2 working, and it works flawlessly. And in fact, currently it is producing even a little bit too much kelp for 2 smokers, so I have currently 8 chambers, so maybe adding 2 more would fix it that we could unblock the 3rd smoker as well. But then again, it currently is working beautifully, even though just with 2 smokers, so for now I won't touch it. And as you can see, it's producing flawlessly and beautifully. But we now also need to get all that stuff over to this wall. Of course, for that we don't need a sorter, but just a direct connection. With the skeleton farm it will be a little bit different, as obviously there we have different items. So I've now marked out the locations for the things in the system, and then we also have still 5 empty spots for later farms. I mean, obviously we have not built the bamboo farm yet, and I don't think we will do that this episode, but I certainly want to hook up both the kelp as well as the skeleton farm to this thing. As a kelp farm is of course pretty straightforward, it's probably wise to not start with that, but rather with a skeleton farm, because I don't just want to carry the things over here and then sort them, but you know, bones, they take up a lot of space, and also you rarely need bones, except for taming wolves. What you usually need is either bone meal or bone blocks. Therefore, I think it would be much smarter to have an, you know, auto-crafting arrangement to turn the bones into bone meal and then into blocks and store those. Oh boy, wish me luck. We have here a chest, which has to remain, as obviously a hopper is not enough for short-term storage when the minecart is away. But we could tuck it in so it's not quite as awkwardly sticking out as it currently is. Gosh, it's a mess. Yep, that's why we're doing this. The first step is done. If we push down the minecart, this tunnel, which goes all the way to the farm, you see that you don't see anything except for that suspicious little button. And if you listen carefully, very carefully... Oh, that was anticlimactic. Let's try that again. If you listen carefully, very carefully, you can hear the minecart go off again. And well, I've learned not to try to open one of these barrels with an axe, because then that happens. And here it is. So then, that's gear, that's the arrows, and this is for the bone blocks. Okay, then let me figure that out. Alright, let's try it out. We kill the skeletons, and the stuff falls all down here. However, for the first time, we have to make sure that we get on bones first and arrows second, as I don't have any items in the sorting system yet, so it can sort itself. I'm not gonna wait for any more, to be honest, as we do have enough stuff here. I'm just gonna dump that in and hope it works. Alright. Well then let's close it up and send the minecart away. The bones will not fill in yet because I don't have the crafter system, but gears and arrows should appear soon. Let's maybe look at it from the inside. Generally it's just what we had before. 2 rows of item sorters, but the first one dead ends here of course, because that's where the crafting mechanism will be. Then we have the row for arrows, which are now filling in, and all the rest. Oh yeah, we have the first leather boots here, and can we reach that? Maybe. Here we have arrows. Awesome! And then we can continue with the crafting apparatus. I mean, we already have the 2 crafters somewhere. I put them away, of course, because I am what I am. And figure that out, maybe copying what we had over here. Something like that, you know. Today I've learned crafters can directly spit into containers. Yeah, I know, very obvious, but it wasn't for me. Alright, I have now 2 crafters and then all the chests going down to the barrel. Currently, this hopper is locked, and as soon as we remove this switch, magic should happen. Well, magic was supposed to happen. Oh, I see what's happening. It's because of the torch behind that's part of the sorting system. The hopper is still locked. Oh boy. Okay, Tony, try again. And today I've also learned that crafters can directly spit into each other. I'm telling you, one of these days I will be a redstone genius. Not anytime soon though. Then let's try this again and remove this lever and hope for the best. Okay. Things are happening. I'm a genius. I am a genius. Alright. Then we can send all the stuff from the skeleton farm over here. And the final thing we still have to do is to connect up the kelp farm. But, you know, that really is straightforward at that point. Then, everything we need to do is to remove this track as well as this one and replace it. And then the next time the minecart is going on its journey, can of course force it. It will go all the way over there and it should come back. Ideally. There it is. Awesome. And oh dear. I think there's one more step I need to do, and that is to make sure that all these chests don't have anything in them they shouldn't have. Well, there's more nonsense. How is that still... Oh, I see. So all the kelp should now be trickling in. And yes, even though only half of the barrels here are connected, it already is a big jumbled mess. And that, by the way, is our kelp farm. That is why there's deep slate there. That is not an artistic decision. And as you can see, the kelp is trickling in, the bones are trickling in. The arrows? Are these all the arrows we had? Oh, maybe. I mean, I put a lot of those in the minecart track. Not that nonsense again. Why is that always happening? Come here, I don't want to accidentally hit my dogs. Just because you are a nuisance. Oh, and I was wondering where on earth the minecart for the kelp always gets stuff and dirt from. It's these hoppers. Well, when I thought I was done. Then let's break this connection for now and see how we can reroute it. Because that, of course, is no good. We constantly get trash in the minecart that's supposed to transport kelp. Yeah, that's a bit of an issue. I mean, if we scoot it over to the other side, same problem. I have now very awkwardly rerouted that minecart line. Oh, sorry. Didn't thought it would already show up. But it works now. And that is the important part. Oh, and by the way, that Enderman from 2 or 3 episodes ago, still there. Still hasn't left. But the Enderman damage my world has seen is brutal. I mean, look at that. That tree is floating. They just, I don't know. Did they try to play chess or something like that? It's just horrible. And the worst part isn't even that. Look what they did to my sheep pen. How is that even possible? And apparently I've caught a creeper as well as a pillager captain. Where is my fortune? Pickaxe, I need food. Now, after connecting up all current farms to the automatic storage system, or smart storage systems, maybe a good name for it, there's really one thing left to do, and that is to put back the nether portal. And I thought this would be the perfect space for it, as A, it covers up all that madness behind here, and after all, it's a minecart station, so pretty much the hub of transportation, so a portal makes just perfect sense, right? And in this case we can also be stingy about the corners. Especially up here it even makes sense, because then we have less to cover up. Alright, maybe some... Yeah, I think some stairs would be useful here. So let's put the stairs here and cover up the top of the obsidian with some... What? Pressure plates? No. Trapdoors. That's the word. Alright. Stairs, trapdoors. And then just as we had before, let's put back the deep slate bricks. And then we can light it. Awesome. And it should link up with the same portal on the other side. But maybe let's make sure it really does. But I would be surprised if it created a new portal. Nope, it's the same. Good. Oh, there's still some XP. And while we're at it, maybe let's try to craft an armor stand. If I remember how the recipe goes. So we can display our golden crown. Which side? Maybe this side. So it's always at hand. But with all that redstone nonsense, and those hours upon hours we put into it, I now want to do something fun or more relaxing maybe is more appropriate. Maybe, if you watched last episode, and if you didn't, don't worry, we found some ocean ruins, basically at the feet of our base, which I've never seen before and as such also never explored before, so I'd say we check out those for the final task of today. Bye, fools. Not 2 pillages in a boat. Oh, bother. And the ruins were somewhere around, I think, after that mount in the water. Found it. Well, let's see what suspicious sand we still can find. That's suspicious. Also suspiciously low oxygen. That's a shirt. More than a pottery shirt. Interesting. Oh, a golden nugget. Oh well, there's a drown somewhere. Growling at me. Is that another one? Oh, I don't think it is. It's actually quite tough to differentiate between them underwater. Oh, a nautilus shell. That's kind of you, zombie. Drowned zombie. Still a zombie. More gold? Fine. Maybe I should have brought a door. Would have made some things quite easier. Right. Oh, an emerald. Another shirt. Awesome. Blade pottery shirt. Ooh, oh dear. Yep, there goes one. Where even was it? I haven't seen it. Just heard it break. Okay, I crafted the door. This is very annoying. Alright, is that just... Okay, we can break that. A treasure map. Probably won't lead us anywhere. Too fancy. Alright, that's everything I see around here. It's a bit sad of a ruin, but then again we got 2 shirts out of it. Not taking into account the suspicious gravel we broke. And with that, why not have the outro on the ocean today? I think we were very successful and very productive in building that smart storage, connecting up all of our farms and, well, doing more mind-boggling redstone. I mean, at least for me, as I'm pretty much a redstone noob still, but I'm learning, certainly learning. And I know I have to build the bamboo farm eventually, but I think for next episode we will address a different, very pressing matter. And that is that we still have not addressed the Ender Dragon. For that, of course, we have to find a fortress first, as well as find a stronghold and all that nonsense, and I think next episode will be episode 10, right? That sounds like the perfect number for finally beating the game, or at least how it's officially called, to beat the game. And if you want to catch that, as well as all future nonsense I have planned, oh, let's be careful here, then make sure to subscribe, and maybe even click the bell if you really feel generous today, so you get informed about all future videos, as I have certainly lots more planned for this world. But first of all, let's finally find and beat that Ender Dragon. See you next time, take care, and bye! Gosh, finally peace and quiet. You can stay there for now.